we go. We're starting here. We're going to apologize. We apologize. We're a little bit late in starting, but I think they will still know what to do. Okay. Okay. So what we've already done is we've already put 0.67 on our first tape diagram on our template for lesson 9. And we're ready to do the second one. Okay. So don't look.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
It could be. So I'm not telling you if it's right or wrong. All right. So we've got the fraction 59/100. If you look at the picture, you can see that they've made it to the number 59. What is 59/100 going to be as a decimal? Let's write it as a decimal because it's going to help us. Kennedy, what do you think? 0.59. Another way to say that is 0.59. Some people will say it like that. Another way to say it is 59 hundredths. And I want you to hear all those ways because you might read it that way, you might see it that way. Okay, here we have, I want you to put that decimal on your board. Can you fit that beside that second tape diagram? You might have to put it underneath it. There's lots of room underneath it. I like having it as a decimal because, guys, just go to each digit. First digit is 0. No whole numbers. We're not going to have any tape diagrams that are completely 100% filled in. Next digit is what? 5. So we need 5, but what place is it in?
10.
Yeah, the tenths. So we need 5 of our tenths filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is way wrong, so please don't look at it. We're going to show how smart we are. We are smarter than the slides.
So smart. Maybe they made it wrong so we could fix it.
Welcome to my world. I don't do so good either.
Just estimate.
All right, now we can easily color in 5 of these tenths. Okay, now once you shade 5 of those tenths, I thought I had an empty one last time.
They were very.
I had an empty one last time. That's what this is, just set up different.
Did they want us to fix it or something?
Good question.
Yeah. Probably. Or they're just not smart at all.
All right, we've got 5 of our tenths. Now, what's our next digit? What is in the hundredths place? A 9. Okay, so we're going to take that next box and we're going to cut it into 10 pieces.
Can I estimate it?
Let's cut it into 10 pieces since we can. I don't even know how many lines I drew. If you did estimate this, how would you mark it?
Put it close to
go ahead.
You would put it almost filled in, but just a tad left.
You would need just a tiny little bit of space left, right? To show that it didn't quite make it, but it's almost there. All right, so like right there, it almost looks like I've filled it completely in. All right. And that's going to show 0.59. Now, just put the top on your marker for a second. All right, so you have 2 tape diagrams. That's our visual model right now. That's helping us answer this next question because remember what we're doing is we're comparing our numbers, but we're also answering comparison questions. Well, here's a question. Which one of these 2 measurements or which one of these 2 numbers is larger?
0.
Okay, let's raise our hand. Which one is larger? 0.67 or 0.59? You have a visual model to help you. You should be able to tell just like that. I mean, literally that fast.
0.67.
Yeah, tape diagram helps you with that, doesn't it? Immediately.
I just knew it was bigger also.
You just already knew, huh? Okay. I feel like we're missing a template. Just time out. Everybody's frozen. You don't see me moving around. We used to have this template. I don't know. Maybe they saved it. Oh, there it is, right there. Why are you there? Did you know? Okay. So let's do this then. I know.
Like you're not gonna get me.
It's superpowers. How am I supposed to make that? How much being disrespectful?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be
Whoa. That color. It's like a tennis ball smacking you in the face. Okay. All right. So we have 0. Okay, I just can't deal with that. So small, it drives me nuts. All right, we have 0.67 and we have 0.59. Now I've tried to line these up. All right, and we have, you go away. You come here. All right, what place is this right here? The zeros. What place value place is that? Everybody. That is the ones place. All right, what is this place right here?
Tenths.
All right, I like how you were careful to say that. Tenths. What is this place right here?
Hundredths.
Hundredths. All right. You know what it's like? It's like the hundredths place being extra. You know, I got to be a little extra. Hundredths. You know, just extra. Okay. Now, a place value chart. This is why I was looking for that place value chart. It doesn't come around until later, and that's okay. We can see it right here. All right. If you are having trouble knowing which decimal numbers are larger, let me ask this. Did y'all talk about decimals at all last year? Okay. Okay. I thought that was probably something that would have happened after spring break. You just go down the line. It's kind of like trying to tell if something's larger going this way. So we're going this way. All right, so these are both zeros. We skip that and we go to the next place value. These are both tenths. Which one is larger? The 6, of course. All right. Well, since this number has more tenths, this number is automatically larger. It has tenths are larger than hundredths. Hundredths are larger than thousand. You know, as we go this way, we're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay? And so if there is a number that has a larger number here, then it's bigger. Stop there. But what if these were both 5s? Then we would have to go here and see which one was larger. If these were the same, we'd have to go to the next one. It's just like when you're going that way. Okay? Yeah. Say it one more time. If that's how you think of it, I don't know if everybody thinks of it that way. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on to that thought one. Let me get this question, then we'll talk about that.
It's kind of like if you're sorting like names in order, like it's A and A, then you go to the next letter.
Like alphabetical order. Yes. There are several things that are similar to this. All right, so what if they're equal? You mean if these are the same number? Okay, if these are both 5s, what are we going to do? We go to the next space, the next place value.
And what if all of them are equal?
What if all of them are equal? Then you have 2 equal numbers, and you don't have one that's larger than the other.
You just leave it.
They would be they'd be equal with the equal sign. Like if you were trying to do greater than or less than or equal to. Okay. All right. So that is our first step into seeing those, comparing them. Let's keep going.
Your hair loves the
Is it today?
No.
Yeah.
Miss Wendy, your hair loves to draw.
It's very artistic. All right, so this is what, they already had it on there, but I wanted to show you before. Okay, moving on along. Let's go ahead and erase those tape diagrams. We're going to do a couple more. Okay. Can anybody tell by looking at this ruler what our fraction will be? How much of that, I guess more of a meter stick, how much of that is filled in? 40 hundredths. Okay. $40. Okay. So let's write that as a decimal. What does that look like as a decimal? 40 hundredths. Andy, go ahead. Well, that is, I can see your math. 0.40. All right. 0.40. All right, so let's fill that in on let's write that beside the top tape diagram and also fill that in. Let's shade that much in. 0.40, we're writing that beside the top tape. Got Monday mouth on Tuesday. It's gonna be a long week. It's gonna be a long Tuesday was a long Monday, you know what? Tuesday was a long Monday. That's the phrase for the day. Yeah, yes. Okay. Ishmael's over once again. He's like, "This is easy." He's our Ishmael. This is easy. We're gonna have to ask him every time. This is easy, easier, because there's no whole numbers. Shh. There's 4/10 to shade in. Any hundredths? No. There's a 0 there. So this was very quick. Very easy.
This is easy.
And what's nice is we didn't have to estimate anything. We were exact on this one. Yeah.
So is this like all we're doing? Like there's nothing else?
We're not done, huh?
No.
Stay with me.
What? This is not
Okay, all right. Hey. Y'all a very critical bunch sometimes. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, don't erase that first one. Okay. To compare, you often need two things to compare to. Okay. So, on the second one, what does this say up here? What is our fraction going to be? Okay, let's, 34 what? Okay, we've got 34 hundredths. Y'all got good eyes. All right, what is that going to be as a decimal? 0.34 or 0.34, or you could say 34 hundredths. So write 34 hundredths, 0.34, beside your second tape diagram and shade that much in. No whole numbers. Valerie, how many tenths are we going to shade in? Which one? No, that's hundredths. Remember, we're working this way. What's in the tenths place? Huh? This is the ones place. So here's our tenths place, the 3, okay? 3/10. Shade those in. Might have already done that. What are we going to do to the very next box? Cut it into 10 pieces. And how many of those are we going to shade, Caleb? 4. So you should have a little bit less than half of that box shaded. Now we have 2 tape diagrams shaded in. Just look at the tape diagrams. Which one of these numbers is larger? Yeah. Are they? Yes. Okay. Can I share that? Okay. He said, at first said they're equal because they do look how equal they look on his. Because when you draw all those 10 lines, it looks like you filled in the box, doesn't it? But he really hasn't. When you really, because I'm up close, I can tell where he's shaded. Which one is larger? The top one. 0.40 or 0.4. Okay, it has several names. Guys, let's turn around, please. Okay, thank you. All right. So, what you're saying is, let's put these numbers on our little handy dandy place value chart. What you're saying is 0.40 is larger than 0.34. How many of you agree that 0.40 is larger than 0.34? Can you tell us why? Ooh, all the hands went there. I mean, you believe something, but you can't tell me why? You believe it because your friends raised their hand, and I'm going to raise my hand too. You believe it. You got a reason for it. Mason, tell us your reason.
My reason is because 3 is less than 4.
Okay. And why did you just say 3 and 4? Why did you just compare a 3 and a 4 when there's all these other digits?
Because those are the largest place.
Okay, they are, and it's the first place we come to where the digits are different too. You know, these are the same. Keep moving. All right, these are different. Which one is larger? Go with that one. Okay. All right, so our next part of the slides deals with measurement. It has pictures of scales. It has bags of rice. I didn't want to deal with pictures of scales and bags of rice today. So this is what I'm going to go ahead and clear off your board and erase it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to see how well this works. Okay, please listen. Please listen so you can participate. Okay. All right, so I have some things in my little bag here that I'm going to ask you to take care of. Okay? In other words, if I hand you this, okay, please don't squish it and bend it and, you know, please don't act like you're 3. You guys are grown and know how to handle things, okay? So take care of things because they're not yours. You're borrowing them. Okay. Please don't open them. Goodness no. Okay. All right. The reason we're doing this is because they measured bags of rice. Well, these things have been measured. Food gets measured, and if you've ever paid attention to the packaging of food, it tells you how much it weighs down at the bottom. Okay. Usually at the bottom. Okay. So, excuse me just a second. Writing is small. Anyway, so like right here, I'm looking for the net weight. That WT means weight. And it says 2.9 OZ. What does OZ stand for? Ounces. And ounces is a unit of measurement. So this is 2.9. Okay. This one that I pulled out earlier. And it's usually at the bottom. This is 2.6. You have to search for it sometimes. But it's required for that to be on there so that you know how much food, you know, is in there. Okay? All right, so I'm going to hand each of you a package. There's a couple things in here that are duplicates because I just didn't have that many different things at home. I was looking for all different things, but there's a few. Like there's 2 of these. So I don't want you to be comparing the same thing. I want you to find something different to compare to. Okay? There should be enough in here for everybody to have something to hold on to. And what I want you to do is to find somebody in the room that you're going to compare your number with. Okay? All right. So first I'm just going to hand you something, and you be looking for its weight number. Now, all of these are decimal numbers. I made sure because we're practicing that today. But what was I going to tell you? Just hold on. We're not comparing just yet. Okay?
Mac and cheese.
No, I'm giving you that so I know where you are. You're going to be noisy.
It's miraculous.
What if I get you to
I wanted this anyway.
I didn't even know it was in my bag.
Macaroni and the chicken strips. What is that? It is one.
One question. Do you have something good? No.
I got chicken.
I think I was able to give everybody something different.
That's not.
Yeah, my 2 duplicates are in here. So okay, so here are your directions. Here are your directions. Okay, you have an item. That item has a weight, and that weight is written in a decimal number. Okay, all food items are down on the desk right now, not in our hands. Okay, I need your eyes. You can find that number in a minute if you haven't found it yet, but I need you to hear all the directions. So what I want you to do, in just a minute, you're going to get with someone else and compare your 2 numbers. Okay? I would like for you on your whiteboard, if you can do it on your template, use your template right here because these are easier to deal with than drawing our own. This is the deal. As I was reading, let's see, what weight was I reading? Maybe it was this. And it was 2.9. So you're going to need 2 whole tape diagrams plus another, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right here to deal with. If yours is bigger than that and you need another tape diagram, you can draw an extra one on here. Okay? If you need your whiteboard because there's not enough space here, your other whiteboard, you can do that. Okay. So, you're going to need 2 sets of tape diagrams. So if I compared my item to Gage's, okay, 4 people up front just get picked on a lot because they're close by. So if we're comparing the weights of these 2 things, I'm going to use my whiteboard and tape diagrams to show my weight, and then I'm going to have to lay them beside Gage's. Here we had both things right beside each other. If you can fit both things beside each other, do it that way. Some of your items are very light and they don't need a lot of space, but you may have. Is everybody getting me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we did the ruler measurements, we put both of them right here beside each other. You may not have enough space to do that. I may have to put my measurements here, and Gage may have to put his on his, and we may have to hold these beside each other. Okay? So you're going to write the decimal number and create a tape diagram for it to show which one is larger. You might know which one is larger before you ever start drawing that tape diagram. I just want the tape diagram to kind of prove it. Okay? All right, you may go find somebody. Everybody has a different item, so go get beside somebody and compare your objects. Okay, you're going to be sharing your information, so make sure you got it written down.
Can I be group?
No, I don't think so. We've got.
Mason doesn't have a partner.
Okay, so Mason needs a partner. Brandon needs a partner. Y'all can't get it harder. I will be happy to help you. We got 15 in the room. This is gonna be hard to do. I'm gonna have to be a partner with somebody. You can't have 3 in a group. Okay. Alright. Somebody can be my partner.
Yeah,
Okay, y'all match it right here.
Oh,
So it's
it don't matter.
Okay, here we go.
I don't even know how much
It's way. It's really heavy. You wanna trade it out for something small, so we don't have to draw 8 tape measures.
What is 16 right?
What? Excuse me.
What is 16 right? It's 1.49.
Okay, but go with the decimal. If it has 2 different measurements, go with the one that is the decimal. That's what I want to write. You're find it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. You pick it up from the middle, color it, shade that. It's not really heavy. Oh yeah. Dang. Wait, Miss Wendy. What if we need 3 papers? Because we do. Miss Wendy, we need 3 papers. Mine is 2.5.
Right, so if yours is 2.5, you're gonna have 2 full ones and then 5 10. You're doing yours completely on here. That's what I was. It's hard to explain, but you are doing your item on your pay. Tempo. Okay. All right. So I don't have one at the moment. I can make it easier to fill it in full. So this is 7, and then you need 5 more. You need 5 of those columns. So you're gonna kind of estimate and go to the middle of that one. Definitely will help. Okay. So y'all were able to fit both of them on there. But see, this is not 1.5. 1.5 was the one whole, and then 5 Oh, I see what you're saying. So these go together. I got you.
What's it mine?
Always
2.5.
Mine would be 1.1.
Oh, 0.7.
I didn't do that. Alright, so like you've got yours. Okay, know which one is larger? And then just repeat your 10. Yeah. Alright, would you write 1.16?
Oh, we can wait for these
Put your number. Okay. Anybody else having a little trouble knowing how to show this? Alright.
You can't say it.
Alright, you got the 70 stuff.
You say more. We started saying it. Please make it up. No, you made that up. Nice. Your name is just showing me is how because it's 2.9. I walk like you.
It is. Alright, just trying to make sure.
Is this correct?
Trying to make sure we've got.
Hey, AJ, little colors. Are those the size? No, they're size. They're 7.5 and these
Alright, I think I have seen most of these. Alright, if you have gotten finished, go take your item and your tape diagram back to your seat.
Mine weighs 3.9. Miss Wendy, my shoe is 7.5.
How do you know that? Okay, now that's not the measurement, that's the size of the shoe.
Yeah.
7.5. But there's another way that we use decimals. You know, your shoe size is either a half size or a whole size. So like a few months ago, you might have worn just a 7. And now if you've grown a little bit, you got a bigger shoe.
I wore 6 last year. Now I wear 7.5. The
But
old shoes
in
were
shoe
6.
sizes, they will write either 7 and 1/2, like a fraction, or you'll see 7.5. Okay, Martin, I know you gotta draw like a million tape diagrams,
I am the man. What? Hey, we're not going to You know what he wants to do? I run this
Alright. So, if you would, go ahead and turn back around. Hopefully this was a little more enjoyable than looking at flat pictures of rice bags on a scale. So, all I'm going to do is ask you, what your item was, how much it weighed. I want you to tell me that number. And we're going to put it on this to compare it this way on the place value chart since you've already compared it on your tape diagram. You already know which one is larger by looking at your tape diagram, probably also by looking at the number. Okay. All right, let's just start right here. Who did you work with? All right, so you had what?
Chicken of the sea, pink salmon.
Okay, and how much did it weigh?
2.5 ounces.
2.5. All right, so Ishmael, what did you have?
A granola bar.
A granola bar, and how much did it weigh?
1.49.
1.49. Take care of that. That's my husband's name. He loves to eat those for breakfast. Okay. Oh, hold on. Hold on. This one has more digits. It must be bigger because 149 is bigger than 25.
No. Yeah.
Right?
No. Why did I say yeah? What? What
Okay.
am I talking about? What?
Be careful because people will think that way. But if your number has a decimal place, it changes everything.
Yeah.
Which number was larger?
Mine.
The 2.5. Why?
Because.
Okay,
The
because
yes,
it doesn't work in
the
here.
one,
Okay.
the one place has a bigger digit.
Okay. Starting on this side, if these have a bigger digit, we don't have to keep going. 2 is bigger than 1. Stop right there. Okay. All right. Let's get still and then let's make sure we're listening. We don't have to go any further. We know that 2.5 is larger. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that was either. All right, Mason, who'd you work with? Gage, what'd you have?
I had the Ritz cheese crispers.
Okay, and how much did they weigh?
0.75 ounces.
0.75. And Gage, you had what?
I had $3 almonds that are spicy and they weigh 1.5 ounces.
1.5. Yeah, you had the sriracha almonds. Okay, so which one was larger? Gage's was why?
Because the one's place mine is bigger.
You didn't have to look over here. The one's place told you immediately which one was larger. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Who did you work with? All right, you had.
Applesauce.
Okay.
And the weight was.
It's very fancy applesauce. It has blueberry in it. Okay, what now?
The decimal was 3.9.
3.9. So we're getting a little bit bigger here. Okay, and Alex had.
I had stir fry mix and mine was
1.1. Which one was Which one was larger? Yours. Why?
Because the whole number of the one in mine is bigger than hers.
Okay, the whole number was bigger. We didn't have to go any further. All right, so Kennedy, who'd you work with? Jayla, what'd you have? Huh? You had some Applejack cereal, and how much did it weigh? 0.45. Okay. So 0.45. And Jayla, what'd you have? You had a tuna pouch. Okay. All right. Well, not the tuna pouch here. How much did it weigh?
6.
Yeah, 2.6.
I thought you bought these, but
Oh, I just raided my pantry last night. Okay. All right. So which one was larger? Okay, let them answer. But Jayla, was yours larger? Why? Most definitely. One's place is bigger. If these were the same, we would have gone to the next place. If these were the same, we would have gone to the next place. You guys are getting how this works. Okay. Valerie, who'd you work with? Okay, what'd you have? Cheez-Its, and how much was that package? 1.0. It was right at an ounce. And then, Isabella's, what was yours? It was a little granola bar. What was the weight? Okay, 0.92 or 0.92. Now, I don't know if y'all will catch this, but these two weights are very close to each other. Very close to each other. This is 1 whole, and this is 0.9. This is almost 1 whole, isn't it?
it just needs 8.
Okay, yeah, 8 more hundredths, and we would have 2 equal things. So, but, look, y'all tell us which one was larger. Yours? No? Yours? Why? Look at the ones place. What about 1 and 0? 1 is bigger than 0. Okie doke. Coming around the bend, we got Brandon. Brandon, I know that your partner is a star student. Very intelligent.
His name once.
Okay.
His name once.
Who'd you work with, Brandon? Yeah, me. Yeah, he's like, you. And there's probably an eye roll in there, but Brandon's too nice to do that to me. All right, what'd you have? What was your food?
I had trail mix and it was 1.75.
Okay, 1.75, and I had a granola bar, kids granola bar, that was 1.16 or 1.16 or 1 1600ths. All right, now I like these a little better. They're a little. You gotta dig a little deeper at least. Okay. So, Brandon, what did we decide? Whose was larger?
Mine.
Yours? Can you tell us why?
Well, because it had the bigger, like the 100. Had the bigger 100.
Well, go before the hundredths even.
Actually 10.
Actually tenths. Guys, if the number's the same, and here's an example of that. Please stay with me. Okay. These are the same. We've got to come here. All right. And this one is larger. So that's the one that's bigger. Okay. Simple as that. All right. And coming up to Charlotte. Charlotte, who'd you work with? Okay. What did you have?
A pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade. And it weighed?
It weighed
2.9. Okay. And Bailey, what'd you have? Okay. And it weighed? Okay. And which one was larger, guys?
Mine.
Okay. Why?
Because in the ones mine's bigger.
Okay. And see, most of y'all, because I could have matched you up myself or matched the items up, but most of ours are stopping at the ones place, aren't they? We're not having to go much farther than that. Okay, let's get out of our desk, guys. Stay with me. Okay, we are almost finished. Martin, I don't think we've talked with you.
I was working with Will, and mine was 7.25.
What'd you have?
Macaroni and cheese.
Okay. All right, Will, what'd you have?
I had you say it, and it was
5.5. So these guys were making tape diagrams for days. You just seen there. Try hold up your the thing you drew on your template. I mean, tape diagrams were everywhere because of their whole numbers here. All right, which one was larger?
Mine.
The macaroni and cheese. Why?
Because the ones is bigger than the Will's ones.
All right, 7 is bigger than 5. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a little. I'm gonna pretend I'm at Walmart. I'm just gonna pick my look.
Just have one
Snack, another snack. This snack big at my house. Lunch, another snack. So thirsty. Big lemonade. Another snack. We need granola foods. Another snack. Breakfast. Another snack. Walmart free samples, actually, which is this.
See, I told you.
Before I got my handy dandy little chocolate bag. When I do my pickup order, sometimes they give me a bag full of free samples.
Yeah, that's what they
Really? Do they really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
They gave some.
Get some little stuff in there sometimes.
I thought we were gonna eat one.
Yeah,
Martin.
we're not.
You wish.
I wish I could cook macaroni and cheese for you right now, but
And
I can't. That would be a good heat energy science lesson.
Have you saw Miss Elizabeth's little closet in her room?
I did,
Like her-
you mean the lounge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
She has a
I think it's pretty
She
awesome.
needs a disco.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Where's the lounge? It's like
Lounge,
a
like a
coffee
comfortable room.
machine.
Place to relax.
Oh, a game? She needs to do work after school. Well, did I leave my phone?
Okay, I really actually think we could stop and look at some pictures and look at their measurements and then compare those numbers. But I really think we're ready to move on to our problem set. So let's take our break. But before we do, clear off your tape diagram. Put your regular whiteboard in front of you. Hold on. I was just sitting here thinking as I watched you erase. I'm going to put 2 numbers up here. We're gonna play the comparison game here. We're going. Okay, that was a figure of speech. We're going to compare 2 numbers. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Come on.
We need the doctor.
I know, it's not there. Someone done erased my
It was Miss Wendy.
No, it was Miss
Okay, could you put this on your board, please? And what goes in this blank is a greater than, less than, or equal to sign.
Excuse me.
All right, I'm gonna ask you to show it to me in just a second. All right, go ahead and show it to me. All right, so what I'm saying is that you feel this way. Good. Now clear that off and let's try something else. I don't know why it was important for that line to stay there. Anyway. Okay, now hold on. That was supposed to go from here.
I didn't say nothing.
You're supposed to say Ishmael, say it's easy. All right, no, stop before you write anything. What would you do if this confused you?
Decimal.
Okay, rewrite this one as a decimal. So if this is hard for you to think through, then change it to this right here. Oh, don't do that. Change it to that right there. Okay. Go ahead and show me your board. That's fine. Good. Which it would be like that. All right. Go ahead and clear that board off. I think that's probably enough. And put both boards away. Now this is going to take a second. Don't just shove those in your desk. I have somebody in the second period that's already lost that template whiteboard. And let me tell you, it creates a large mess for you. You don't want to have to draw those things every single time. It's going to take you twice as long. Okay? Flick it in your binder. Put the other whiteboard away. All right, we're just practicing mainly comparing decimal numbers today.